Welcome to my humble little office. My name is R. Keith Andrews. I'm a spiritual guide and paranormal adept. The journey continues today. Well, I'm doing that a little backwards. Welcome to A Day in the Office, episode 11. Okay, well, we do not require that. I don't like the extra noise. Okay, now, as you know, this is literally me working around the office. So if I'm moving around, that just makes sense. But that said, if you've got questions, or more to the point, when you have questions, doesn't matter what the topic, absolutely ask. I will do my best to keep an eye on things. Now, that said, when you've got questions, do me a favor and put them in all caps in the chat room. That way, I can actually find them. Okay, it's a simple issue. This is still a safe place. It has to be. If I have too many problems, since I don't have anybody relegated to a moderator here, I just end the stream. It's that simple. Okay, I'm learning as I go along, not the least of which is how to actually moderate, how to actually handle the advertising side of things. So, a lot of this stuff that I've got here, I don't require. This thing is just about this is the tactical I take out of the house to work with. So we get that out of the way. Now, I've got a lot of projects on the go. The biggest one, of course, is literally how to run my life properly, how to get back on the right track. And there is a lot of complications around that end. What do we got here? Joe, how you doing? Glad you could join us. You are actually in with the gold. I know you sent an email, and I will be getting it today after the stream because, well, I've had a whole lot going on. Cowie, how you doing? Glad you could join us. You're in with the silver. Hopefully your day is coming on track. Now, I got a whole pile of things here that I don't require. So let's get some of them moved. Let's see. We do require. Do we got a pen there? So that's good. Put a couple of pens there and put a pen there just so I can find it. And the rest of these can go back where they came from. The neat part about it is when I'm getting things organized, I can actually quantify it and say, this is why I'm telling you to do it. Because it works. Okay. I will tell you, the more organized you are, the better off you are, and the more readily things will work in the right direction. Yes, I know it can be complicated on occasion. Now, who is this? Really? I have no idea what that's for. But, in answer to the question there, Cowie, yeah, in all fairness, I'm actually feeling really good. Primarily because I finally figured out why my hand was spasming so badly. I ended up with a real negative turn of events that I was having troubles dealing with. Now, not so much. But those don't go there. That can go where it belongs. I think I got room in there. Yep. Okay. Those pens we will simply put in there so I don't run out of them. Now here's the neat little part. I take a look at the world. Oh, yeah. I quite often, Joe, what happens is I'll get a whole pile of emails and I cannot get to them all, because my schedule is quite extreme. But I do actually have it. I hope when you deleted it, didn't yank it out of mine. Let me see here. Joe. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I will take a side. I do still have it here, and I will get back to it tonight. As a matter of fact, I have literally marked it in as one of my tasks for the day to get done before the end of the night, before the end of tonight. And as you well know, once I put my mind to something to make it happen, it tends to work. I just have to stay on top of it, is all. Now, where did it go? Where did it go? Not there. Oh, of course, there. So right now, we take a look at my office. What's this? That was done today. It's been moved. That's all been moved. I think that's all been moved. Get that out of the way. What I've got here is a bunch of papers I've been sorting through. That was on the morning of the 10th. Where are we? Yep. That's always nice. So that gets that out of the way. See, one of the things, oh, by the way, I had a couple of orders come in for Races of the World. They have now been sent out. I think I was late getting one of them out, like rather extremely late. But if you've recently put an order in for one, I just cleared the queue. All of the ones I had orders for are now airborne. As of this afternoon, I sent them all out. Now, with that in mind, okay, let's get this stuff worked out of the way. First and foremost, like I said, if you desire your life to get in order, first rule of thumb, clear the clutter. If you don't clear the clutter, it's kind of like throwing a bunch of debris into a river. It's going to jam things. So I take this, and yes, this is actually a cash box. Well, take that there. Now, okay, the desk is clear, the counter's clear. That always works out well. All the way across, my desk is in good shape at this point. Now, like I said, you desire your life to get to run properly. First thing you gotta decide is number one, first and foremost, are you content with the way your life is running? I looked at mine, and I'll tell you, the last thing I want to call it is content. So, got all that in order. So I am now clear one side to the other. Now, I think I read that already. Bible, I did. You know, it's funny. I told my dad years ago, I gave him my word on his deathbed that I would read the Bible cover to cover. Now, bearing in mind, this is the top. Okay. That little marker right there, that's a bookmark for how much I've gone through. Okay. So I'm about 3/4 of the way through the reading of it. And I'll tell you, some of what I found is absolutely remarkable that it's being followed at all. At least in my opinion. I am going to finish reading it though. That can sit there. So all of that is in order. Now, let's take a look at a couple of things. Can't do much with that, but what I can do something with, and understand, I understand the fact you can't exactly take a look at this stuff and go, okay, that's how much there's everything over here. So what I'm going to do, I think I'll do that to make sure I get to it. I've got a bunch of files over here. This dresser top is where I'm going to operate from. So I take this. It'll fall pretty quick. That's a bunch of files from my company. And then these ones are all old personal files I've got to go through. But the only way to do it is, the only functional way to do it is one step at a time. So I take them all and lay them down here. This way, what I'm doing is taking a shelf that is full of excess clutter. Remember what I mentioned about having to get rid of the clutter in order to get your world to run properly? This is how you go about it. Now, I take that, take these, because what I'm doing here is quite literally looking at my inventory. Where are we? Okay, just making certain I don't miss a question if it comes in or a comment. What I'm actually pulling through here is the actual inventory of the books I've got in stock, so that I can make sure that all clutter is gone. The more clutter you have in your office, the slower your brain is likely to work. And again, don't take my word for it. Do your own research. Now, get that out of my way. And here's the neat little thing about research, or about sorting out. If I leave everything this way, I've got a bit of a problem. So, I take this stuff, slide it down to the end, and see if I've got enough room that I can start eliminating things. Okay? So we take these dividers, put them here, and in doing so, it keeps my bed clear. That way, if I don't get the dresser cleared ahead of time, if I don't get the email, the letter, the dresser cleared ahead of time, I can still go to bed without a problem. Now, start with this because I can get it out of the way. So what do we got? This sheet here, just so I can work with it, I go this way. What do we got? Pen. Okay. Looking at inventory here. Race of the World still in my inventory. I've got 9 left. Now understand, I can go down to the printer and get them added, get another order in as soon as I have to. Now, that's one. Now we take a look at number 3, which is this one. It has 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now the neat part about it now, Races of the Worlds is a rather comprehensive, it's a rather comprehensive book that simply tells you, it can documents, what are we? 60 different races with their basic stats. I am in the middle of writing individual booklets on the individual races. Okay, so watch for those coming out. But this one right now, and I wonder where my catalog is, just so I can make certain, because I've adjusted in some cases prices and what have you, because I managed to find a way of sorting things out on shipping. Where is there? April. Okay, Race of the Worlds. Oh, I'm going to have to sort that out. I'm going to have to rework that. But this thing is now, because of what I found out with it, I can now produce this. Now, bear in mind, I'm working on PDFs for all of the books available. Which reminds me, let's get that on my list. So Races of the Worlds, we've got 9 in stock. I will be putting them out in PDF form ASAP. So there's, that's that one. Now we've got Believe in Your Finances. Okay. These, okay, are $20, $20 Canadian in your hand just about anywhere in the world. Okay. Now, I personally prefer the physical book. However, this is Believe in Your Finances and Follow Your Dreams. It is now available through the Buy Me a Coffee link. And these are the tools I've used to literally put my life back in control. Okay. But on the, in PDF form, you can get it there. And I just want to call that up and make sure I'm giving you solid information. Because this one I can actually do directly. Now, where are we here? Let's go into Buy Me a Coffee and see what I've got it, because it's already listed. Okay. And we go. That should get me in. Whoops. I love that. Oh, that's why. I know what I did wrong, but I'm going to double check that just in case. And this is why you don't have to worry about emails going anywhere. I don't sell email lists at all. Okay. Where are we here? That's what I did wrong. Oh, is it? Now, Let us pray. Got us in. Perfect. Here we go. Now, we go to here. We go to homepage. And there we have it. Well, got to deal with a couple of that. Now, I have to take a look. I'm a little confused. Not entirely a shock when you think about it being me. Here we go. Shop. That's what I want. I was right. I wanted to make certain I had the right balance point. Okay. So yes, if you're going after the PDF version, the digital version, okay, it's $10 in your hand. I just don't send a bookmark and or a signed copy. Okay, but these are the tools I personally use in my own day-to-day work. Then we take Believe in Your Business. Believe in Your Business I've got in stock, and I've got more of these anyway. Whoops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 15 right there. We got 15 there. And what do we got? Go back over here to that. Now, what do we got for Believe in Yourself? Okay. Now, there we have it. Whoop. 2, 3, 4. What do I do here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Am I missing one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So, Will Ryder, how you doing? You are in with the bronze. Hopefully your day is going well. Oh, that's why. Just getting things organized here. And again, guys, like I said, if you've got questions, I really don't care what the topic is. It turns out I'm sitting on way more information than I thought. But let's see if this holds. I honestly don't know if it will. Should. Okay. Okay. Now that we've got that worked out, that takes care of that inventory shelf. Might just well get this other one done. Wonder if I've got room back there. Because I'm not going to need that fan for a while. Move that over there. See, the fact of the matter is, I'll show you these things. Tell you, where it comes to closet organizers, these neat little things I picked up years ago. Okay, they used to come from a company called Regal. I don't know if you can still get them, but these, as you can see, they hang on the in the closet, and then they've got 5 holes for different shirts, pants, whatever. They hold hangers, and then they drop down so they don't take up quite as much room. So I just do this, and it opens the door to be able to actually function. Now, like I said, it's a question of clutter being in the way. Every time you have something in the way, what you end up dealing with is a really neat problem. It blocks the energy flow and thereby cripples your ability to move. So, getting down here, what have I got? There we go. Now, the fan I won't need till summer now. Till summer. So right now, it can go in the closet and stay there. Out of the way, I can now deal with it. Now, don't think you can quite see that. Gonna have to take a look at it here. Nope, I don't think so. So, what are we looking at? Look at that. We got a whopping 4 in the house. Now, in all fairness, I'm not really expecting a whole lot of people here. Primarily because this is just me wandering around the house, showing you around the office, showing you exactly what I'm talking about removing the clutter so that your life can come back on track. Now, we take these out of the way. And this is simply another stack of books. This is what my inventory looks like. Okay, but by keeping on top of it, I can actually stay focused and make sure I don't run out. Now, remember I mentioned I was getting rid of all of the excess clutter. And more to the point, I've also recommended you do. Most people don't seem to do that. Okay. That's Believe in Yourself. We have 70 of them. Now, of course, Believe in Yourself and Follow Your Dreams, again, for the hard copy is $20 in your hand virtually anywhere in the world. Okay. If you're getting a PDF, and it'll vary for how long it takes you to get it. But if you're going after the PDF form, it's only $10 and it's in your hand in minutes. Okay. And we have 2 in the office. Which literally what I'm doing is taking this time to ensure that I have things running the right way. But what this is doing is eliminating all of the problem that I've got. Okay, that's 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 52. Believe in your business. We take that and put it back on the shelf. Then we take believe in your finances. And there we have that. This, by the way, means that I have a shelf here. I've now cleared off 3 out of 5 shelves. Well, technically 4 because my top is now empty. Now these are not inventory, so they've got to be moved. But I don't know where to put them yet. So I'm just clearing the shelf off. So this shelf is strictly this bookshelf is strictly for inventory. Now, where are we? Whoa. Oh, there you go. Not a problem, Joe. It was literally because of you that I decided to come back on and just come and work in the office. But it lets me stay focused and get some of the things done that I keep putting off. So yeah, in all fairness, Joe, it was literally so that you could come in and join us. And then of course anybody else that chooses to do that works out well. Then we got these ones. I think these are all Mr. Dreamcatcher. Yep. So 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19, 23, 25, 27, 28. So, of Mr. Dreamcatcher, which, by the way, is a children's story, I've got 28. It was Mr. Dreamcatcher itself was literally written because I got tired of reading the same Dr. Seuss, Berenstain Bears, this sort of thing for my firstborn son. At 2 years old, I rattled that one off. And the fact of the matter is, until he was a month before he turned 8, he wouldn't go to bed until I read that story to him. Now that's Mr. Dreamcatcher. Now let's see what we got for Mr. Dreamcatcher Returns. I've been putting off doing this, and I really had to get onto it. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Come back in one at a time will solve that problem. 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. 22, 24, 26, 28, 30. $32, 34, 36, 38, 40. That was wrong. Well, guess we start over. Hate when I do that. Apparently something went sideways. Turn that around this way and try that again. Okay, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Tell you, this is more difficult than I was expecting it to be. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. $22, 24, 26, 'Hate that. 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40. $42, 44, 46, 48, 50, 52, 54, 56, 58, 60. $62, 63. So there's Mr. Dreamcatcher Returns. That is the second installment. That's the second installment of the Dreamcatcher series. Now, we have Susan Ahern, how you doing? Glad you could join us. Your book is airborne. It went out this morning. Very early afternoon into the office. into the post office. That said, we're now relying on the Postal Service, such as it is. But it is on its way. By the way, glad you could join us. Hopefully things on your end are going well. Now, have I missed anybody? Probably not. Oh, and by the way, we have, like I said, Joe was in with gold, Cowie with silver. Welcome. Oh, I missed you. Welcome to the show. I did not see you come in. Okay, let's scroll that back up. Welcome to the show. You actually had bronze, which means Susan Ahern, you are in with honorable mention. And no problem. I'm just sorry about the delay. Things got absolutely scrambled here, but I figured out why. So now it's just a question of waiting for it to arrive. And that one I can't do much with. Now, those are dealt with. Turn that on. Now, I take a look at all this stuff and see what I've got. Now again, these are all files that I've got to get rid of the junk from. Okay. Now, right now, I've got two other boxes here that are a bit scattered, but they're on the bottom shelf. So I'm going to leave those alone for the moment. No, that's a bad idea. That really is a bad idea. Something I did discover. Okay, something I found out was if you take a look at it and you're going to straighten out the mess. I made the mistake the last time I got started on this. I'm going, no, that's too tedious. I'm just going to put it off and get something else done. This does not work well. Okay, I'm telling you, it really doesn't. Now, let us take a peek here. There we are. And we're back on track. Yeah, I've been working really hard to find a way to drop my stress level to near none. Well, here's the kicker. If you postpone dealing with things, you're going to create absolute stress in your life. Now, you don't have to believe me. Okay, you really don't. But here's the kicker. If you're not going to believe me, which is fine, do your own research. Okay, I'm pretty certain when I get the money together to do it, that's going to be one of the t-shirts that I do get done. Okay, but I'm not going to be dealing with t-shirts that are iron-on decals. I found a guy that will do them do them with embroidery. Now the difference is a t-shirt or a golf shirt, something like this. If you've got if you've got a saying deckled on, like ironed onto it, you get about 2 years before it buckles, if it's a good one. The ones that are done with embroidery, you get a decade. Okay, and you probably wear the shirt out before you wear the saying out. Okay, so I am looking. I've already got a guy lined up to do t-shirts and what have you. But here's the kicker. Okay, I am right now still fighting the financial struggle. I am getting it on track. It's just a royal pain in the neck. Now, with that in mind, you look at that. We got 70 in here. I'm going through this going, I've got to eliminate this excess stuff. And I've got to have a solid inventory. So, in order to do that, that will be a disaster. one of the key factors in getting a place organized. Make certain that you do it in a methodical fashion. Now these, see this book, this was just a little booklet that I did for somebody else. Now, this booklet is done by a reader that had 50 years under her belt to start with. So if you're looking for a very basic book on tarot, okay, this was written by somebody I knew very well. Okay. It's based on the Rider-Waite deck. Okay. But if you don't have one, okay, these books I'm selling them at $10 in your hand. I won't be putting these into PDF. Okay. Because frankly, they are not, I don't even have that side of it. But while supplies last, I'll tell you how many I've got. Tarot Simplified was written by an author I don't even know, by an actual active reader. To be honest, I don't even know if she's still alive at this point. Let's see how many I've actually got. Because these are a limited edition. Let's see how many we've got all together. Count them up. Jumping Jimmy. Because these ones I won't be reproducing. I don't think I've even got. Well, I might be reproducing, but I would not hold my breath on it. I don't think I've got one. These were written way back. Wonder if it's got a date on them. Apparently not. Oh, there we go. Its fifth printing was in 2007. Okay, but we are talking extremely simplified. Okay. That being said, I will be selling them. Yeah, I will end up, because of the cost of mailing, these I'm going to be selling at $10. Okay, $10 shipping and taxes in. Okay, in your hand. I'm not planning on putting these into PDF. I don't think I've even got the PDF form for them. Let's see how many we've actually got. 3, 4. Look, 5. 4, 5. 5, 10, 15. 20. 25. 27. Like I said, as far as I know, I won't be reproducing them, which means I've got 27 left. Where are we here? Sure, put my pen down, forget what I did with it. That's always nice. Okay, now. Uh-oh. I do believe we are talking about the Brady Bunch there, Philip. How you doing? Glad you could join us. I appreciate that, Joe. Yeah, the funny part about it is I've had to, like I said, I'm not going to be dealing with any specific religion. And tonight we're going to look at off-worlders, but we're not going to be dealing with any specific off-worlder. Okay, it's just I've reached a point where I have to look at the way the world is and go, okay, you guys are doing things absolutely bass accurate here. What is this? Oh. Okay. That was 27. That makes 30. $35. $39. Is that all I got there? Yep. There we go. So we actually have 39 of those. Whoop. But yeah, the reality of it is, when I look at the way this world is, it's real simple. I'm straightening out my little pocket in the world, okay? And with that in mind, I have no idea what that word is there, Philip. I mean, I can pronounce it easy enough. But what I don't know is where it comes from. So, what do we got here for extras? Of course, these are ones I've got to translate, so I'm not going to worry about inventory. I've got to transfer them over to a new format. Okay. Now, oh, there we go. Welcome to the show. How you doing? Glad you could join us. He's just reporting major ship collision off the Yorkshire. One tanker with 1,000 gallons of aviation fluid, the other cargo ship with sodium cyanide. Both on fire. One crew member lost, could devastate wildlife. No, will devastate wildlife. Oh, thanks, Philip. I have no idea who Gnosticism is, to be honest with you. But, unfortunately, things like this, like this unfortunate tragedy, is going to take years, if not decades, to recover from. Well, the fact of the matter is, sodium cyanide, as you can tell by the name cyanide, the white mug behind me. I'm presuming you're referring to this one. There it is. Okay. Christine, how you doing? Glad you could join us. This was actually picked up in 1977 my whole family went down to Disneyland. This was one of the mugs they were putting out. I ended up with Goofy. Okay, I may have my one brother's. Yeah, it's very definitely vintage. I am looking into mugs from Inner Voice. Problem is, right now, the only place I've doubled in, I've checked on, I've got to buy 72 at a time. I don't have that kind of money. I will eventually look and get something done with it. But that said, what have we got? That's terrible, Philip. You know, I've got a number of mugs from way back in the 70s. I throw things out when I no longer have a use for them. You know, the nice little part about it is the more I look at this world, the more I look at my place in it, the more relaxed I get and I become about it. You know, and what we're working on here, what we got? Yeah, it was kind of a neat idea. You know, the only drawback with these mugs, okay, with this mug, the only drawback to it, actually, it's not too bad. See, for me, a mug is a bit problematic because of the way my hand is. But with this one, I can actually grab hold of it. Unlike the ones that only have that one little tiny loop. This one I can actually get a hold of. Or if I decide to, I can grab it this way. Okay, but it's actually comfortable for my hand. You know, so this one I'm not looking at getting rid of, although if I ever want to drink out of it, I might want to wash the dust out of it. Don't know where I'm going to store it just yet. But for the moment, I had to get it off that shelf. Now, this is the other box. And again, oh, lo and behold, more of the races of the world. So apparently we've got a lot more in stock than I thought we did. This is not a bad thing. So what I got for a total inventory? See, what I'm doing here, by taking inventory, I can clear all the junk off the shelf I don't require, and therefore know exactly what I'm standing on. The reality is if you desire your life to shift gears, you're the one that's going to have to make it happen. I really don't know there, Philip, and I'm not about to taste it to find out. Okay. Oh, where are we here? Look at that. We've been on for 59 minutes. That's amazing. But in that time, I've managed to do just about all of my inventory. What do we got? Whoop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. I wonder if I've got room there. I might. I do so. That works out well in my eyes. So I take that, have to rearrange it eventually, but for the moment, perfect. Welcome. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. You know, the reality is, the reality is with the fact that I've just lost a 16-year contract, that Buy Me a Coffee link is literally, aside from assistance from the government that I paid into for decades, this is my only source of current income, which is why I'm now aiming for it, why I'm now pushing with it. And Joe, Joe Stewart has been with me literally since just about the beginning of even my podcast. And he's just saying, well, since there's more coming into chat, I'll give a small bio on myself. I have a cemetery right behind my house. It hasn't happened lately, but I've experienced some off-the-wall activity. And given the pictures that Joe has actually shared with me, I can absolutely confirm not only were they off the wall, but they were literally from out of this world in some cases. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You have 10 there. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. $22, $23, 24, 5, 6, 27, 28, 29, 30. So we put the 30 in here. And then we take these last ones, 33, 4, 5, 6. We have 36 all in all. Well, of that batch. 36. Well, let's get the 36 out of here. Where are we? Race of the World. We have another 36. And there's 9 others to start with, I do believe. Yep. $36, 37, 8, 9, 40. $41, 42, 43, 44, 45. Okay. And that concludes my inventory for that altogether. So how's that for neat? Now, what do we got here? Thanks so much, welcome. I really appreciate it. You know, the reality is I'm just about at a point where I'm actually able to stabilize things. I sent a letter to my brothers because of issues around the estate, but I've managed to get them sorted around. I wrote them a letter saying, okay, this is no longer acceptable, but this is the first time in my life, quite frankly, that I've actually started standing up. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. Yeah, Joe, just in case you missed that, Susan is going, well, don't keep us hanging. You know, Susan is asking to hear more about what happened, you know, some of the stuff that went on. You know, one of the nice things about this, I now have that shelf finished, which means my inventory is now up to date. I know what I'm sitting on. Now I can actually start looking at going after some of the other little projects I've been looking at. The reality that I had to come with, and you've got to do the same thing, okay, is it's absolutely imperative. Decide whether or not, are you happy with the way your life is? Okay, I've come to the conclusion I'm really not, so I'm making changes. Neat part about it is as I'm making the changes, do I have that open? I got them all open. Positive perspectives, that's April, so that's got to be May's. Yeah. April positive perspectives. You'll love this. It is going to be, it's a basic line at this point. But Positive Perspectives has now officially moved from a newsletter to a magazine. Okay. And the reason for that is it now has an actual front cover, an index, and a catalog. Okay. So it'll come out on the 29th of this month. I've got a couple of things to adjust with it. Nothing serious. What we got here? Joe's going, okay, I witnessed a few years ago the most off-the-wall thing back there at night. Around this time, a possible tail-on landing. And to be clear, guys, okay, with the description of what Joe laid out and sent me the information on, I can honestly tell you what I was looking at. I cannot tell you whether or not whether or not a picture is legit. I can tell you I've never known Joe to send something that he did not at the very least believe was legit. Okay. I can tell you though, what he showed me was absolutely concurrent with a tail-on landing. Now the tail-on they are an ant-like race. Okay. And yes, they are included in Races of the World. Okay, I'm now at a point where I'm just about ready to, well, I'm almost at a point where I can actually start put Races of the World second printing, which comes inclusive of the pictures. Okay, and that's where I ran into a snag. Because of what's happened with the estate, I've had major problem. To the UK, I will have to look into it, but depends on the book. Now, I will tell you this: I just sent one to Australia, and it only cost me $13 shipping, which is why I charge for the $44 for the book itself. Okay, because that covers the cost of shipping to just about anywhere in the world. I don't mail to the heart of the Congo Nation or the Brazilian jungle or the Amazon jungle. Okay, so when you look at the prices, let me just double check on that. Let me see. Where are, not payouts, shop. Going to the shop. There we are. No, a few more products. Go back to the home page. Holy mackerel. You've got to be kidding me. You know, I really should keep more of an eye on this. Susan, thank you so much. Lee Bolger, I really do appreciate the coffee. Very much appreciated. You know, I've looked at, I know in some streams, they go, oh, here's what was added. Okay, here's how much people donated. I don't think that's necessarily important. Okay, I don't know what your guys' take on it is, but it definitely a very big thank you to both Susan Ahern and Lee Bolger. Okay, if I mispronounce your name, my apologies. But let us get back to homepage. Where the heck is the shop? Right there. That is not what I'm looking for. Kind of fun. Like, I leave this for Storm to take care of because honestly, the whole 9 yards on the net is confusing for me. Okay. The other issue there, welcome. As far as the books going to the UK, the reality is it varies from one book to the next. Okay. If you're looking for the hard copy, I strongly recommend it. It takes a little longer to get it. Okay. I do personally prefer the physical book, but all of these books in short order are going to be available PDF. Of course, you won't get what we call a signature, at least it's mine. Christine, how you doing? Actually, I think I've seen you in. You have been in here. Just trying to find out. Now, why, pray tell, discount settings, that's not what I need. Oh. Go to the shop, and there we have it. Bingo, yeah. Yeah, the prices listed on the shop page are shipping included. Okay, and the reason for that, I did my best to keep it within functional reason. Because I don't know about you, but trying to afford all of the postage wasn't going to happen. But it is killing me on certain areas. You know, when I take a look, especially when you look at the Elder Bocking Chronicles, okay, we are looking at a pricey little book, you know, comparatively speaking. As soon as I can get moved to PDF, it'll be a lot more financially reachable. But I will still have the hard copies available. Whoop. There we are. So that inventory shelf is now complete. This is a good thing. that neat little box is now no longer required. Tell you, I can get really tied in circles here on occasion. But the important factor here, where are we? We have been online for an hour 15. This is good. Then let's go refresh here. Now, here's a neat little piece of information for you. When I go back to the homepage on Buy Me a Coffee, now I spent thousands I literally spent thousands of dollars on different advertising companies, different marketing companies that claim to be professional. I didn't even get a single inquiry from them. Okay. But when I set up with Buy Me a Coffee, I have actually collected more money from them it didn't cost me a thing to put it together. At least I hope it didn't cost me. I got to double check, make sure it didn't cost anybody. Okay. Now, I got to take a look at this. There we are. The reality is Buy Me a Coffee takes a small percentage of the actual stuff that I pay and that I sell. Again, I'm just looking at this, and it is such a small amount. What is it? Brainbox. Nope, that's wrong. 375, 175. Yeah, that's what I thought. Depending on what it is, Buy Me a Coffee does take a little bit of the money, but you got to remember, Buy Me a Coffee is facilitating all of this. Okay. So I have actually made, this year, I finally started collecting it. Okay. And by collecting it, I am now actually generating a small income. Once I am bringing in, and this is just the way I operate, once I am bringing in from all sources over $2,500 a month, I require $2,500 to handle my living expenses. Okay, to keep a roof actually over my head. So what's happening is I'm now approaching that. Okay, I pulled out at the beginning of January. I finally cashed out for the first time ever. Okay, and got a little bit of income from it. Now I'm looking at this going, what happens if I go? Well, we'll deal with those afterwards. But what happens if I go to payouts? See how much money I've got there. There we are. Okay. Before the end of this month, I will be collecting again from Buy Me a Coffee. How, pray tell? Oh, well, that doesn't matter much. So we go back to where we were. Yeah. Now, I do have to deal with that, but yeah, I kind of thought it was there, Philip. Nice. What do we got here? Oh, Joe's going, I'm going to say it was extraterrestrial because of the way the mysterious truck left. It was on the second top hill. Soon as the truck got to the chapel on the hill, it just vanished. Now that's a pretty good indication that we're not dealing with a modern truck. Okay, kind of an interesting way of looking at it. Here we are. Philip goes, I saw a guy get a big donation to cover the gap he needed to not be evicted from his home. he broke down and started crying tears of gratitude. I will tell you, Philip, that is something that, from my standpoint, I have never turned down money. I really haven't. But the reason I do what I do, and this is part of why I do this for free, there are so many people out there that really require assistance. Okay. And there are so many people I watch that go, "Oh, I'm a professional." And then they start spewing garbage about how we are, and I call it garbage and pray I'm right. Okay, they start spewing this garbage that the off-worlders are going to come and wipe us out. Okay, if that were going to happen, rest assured, they wouldn't be telling you. And that is one of the things that is the primary topic we'll be covering on Positive Perceptions tonight at 9 p.m. Pacific. Years ago it was suggested that I put a thing together on what was it called? Not Kickstarter, but there's another program designed for fundraising. Well, the way I figure it, I love the coffee. Okay, I really do. In case you hadn't noticed, I drink a lot of it. But what I found is all of my inventory is absolutely up for grabs. I keep enough for me, as in I keep a copy of each and then sell the rest. So all of it I've got a stockpile on. To the point at this point, what we got? I'm done the inventory so I can actually balance this out. 45 races, 88. Believe in your finance. 67 of believe in your business. And 90 of believe in yourself. Now, I probably have others floating around. And then we have 83, 91 of Mr. Dreamcatcher. Whoop. No, not 91. 28 of Mr. Dreamcatcher and 63 of Mr. Dreamcatcher Returns. Now, here's the sad part about that. And then we've got 39 of Tarot Simplified. Here's the sad reality of what I was told when I first brought Mr. Dreamcatcher to light. I went to the First Nations, to the so-called First Nations. And they flat out told me it was and I'm simply repeating what I was told. They told me it was the best book on Dreamcatchers they'd ever read. But because I'm not absolutely trackable First Nations, they wouldn't touch it. In all fairness, Philip, I didn't go to Indigo. Okay. But after going to, no, I'm not going to tell you who they were. Okay. If you're looking at publishing a book, two things to keep in mind. One is very simple. I guess the first option is this. When you look at publishing a book, if you've got a book to publish, absolutely get in touch with me. Okay. I will tell you, we will work out. I've got a number of things I work on. Okay. But I am now in a position where I am actively willing to put a book into print and get my collection out of it. But here's the kicker. Okay. Where it comes to advertising it, I am not really proficient in advertising. So what I will end up doing with it is I will put it on my website, on my Buy Me a Coffee. And we will work out individually, like I've got it laid out myself, as to what percentage you're getting, what percentage I'm getting, And the reality is, I don't want all of your money, but I'm not about to, I don't mind it, but I'm not about to tell you it's not good enough. Okay. I'm not about to tell you that. Okay. I am looking into publishing other people's works. Okay. And absolutely. Now, I don't have all the paperwork in place. I'm still very old fashioned. I'm what they used to call a gentleman contractor. We make an agreement. That's what I follow. Okay. That's just the way it is. Okay. If you have a single short story that you really would like to get in print, all I'm going to require from you is the story, a letter stating it is your original work, and that I have the right to resell it. Okay. In part or in whole. But you keep full rights to all your own marketing. It is not a question if you turn it over to me, you can't market anywhere else. I don't desire to monopolize it. I'm not that good, and I'm certainly not that egocentric. Okay, same thing goes for poems. Okay, I am putting together cooperative poetic anthologies, and I just found out I've got a little bit of a hiccup with mine, but I'm working on it as we speak. Well, not as we speak, but you get the idea. Now, what have I got going on here? We actually have 10 in the office now. This is incredible. You know, the sad part of it, of what I found, is this. So many people I've talked to will turn around and go, you know, they'll tell people, I'll help people out. Okay. And then what you find is they actually don't. Now, what is this? Oh, okay. That is PC, so that's got to go in here. Okay. So what is this from? That's Canadian. Okay. Now, don't want to lose track of things. What have we got going on here? Up. There we go. And we are at that point, which is great. You know, it's great. I've managed to get the inventory on that whole shelf done, which was an absolute critical requirement. Now, as you can see, those books have to go. Those files. Now, don't go too far away. I'm just going to refill a coffee. Okay, and I'm back. Priorities first. Actually, in all fairness, it is kind of a priority. And to be clear, a lot of the reason that I actually came back to doing it tonight without a moderator, I decided to do so in great deal. A great deal of it has to do with the fact that Joe Stewart actually wrote me a letter and goes, "Look, I can't make it to the night one. Can you come back on?" Where are we? Welcome to the show is asking thoughts on writing novels and factual books, putting human authors out of business. Number one, AI, in my opinion, is nothing but a very well written program that it's not so much they put people out of business. What will put people out of business is if people buy from AI writers as compared to buying from actual authors. In my case, I don't even use I won't even use a program like Grammarly. Okay, really well written program by the look of it. Problem, it depletes the creative capacity. When I'm going through my books, okay, now I will tell you, I spent 2 years in severe depression. You wouldn't have known it in all likelihood, even though I've told you this. But how do I edit my books? I write them all out. Okay, then I call up my executive assistant. I read what I'm writing. Okay, or I read what I've written. She types it in. Okay, because my left hand doesn't handle that kind of typing anymore. Then I adjust it and we go back and edit the story. Okay, now this is a lot of work. And when I mentioned I am at a point now where I'm quite willing to publish other people's works, understand I'm not working with AI. I'm not working with even an automatic editor. I won't do it. I am very much dinosaur. Okay. I'm not about to tell somebody, oh, you can't write a good book. I'll tell you, eventually I may get into producing art. If I might get into that somewhere down the road, I will get into just about any form of writing. I will not, even if it's the best written book in the world, I will not print. I'm not going to put my name behind adult entertainment or books that promote governmental overthrow. Not ones that report it, but ones that promote it. Okay. Governmental overthrow is absolutely stupid. Okay. Go back and find George Orwell. I think it's George Orwell that wrote Animal Farm. Go see if you can find a copy. It tells you what happens with a governmental overthrow. Not worth it. Okay. Now, will I write science fantasy, science fiction? Absolutely, I write them. Will I publish them? Absolutely. Children's books. Okay. I don't understand the romance industry, and therefore trying to put my name on something like the incredibly famous and well sought after Harlequin romance. Those kind of stories, I'm not printing. So do I put a lot of faith in programs that write for you? Not at all. Okay. I do not agree with them. I'm certainly not about to use them, but clearly they are the going thing. This does not mean that I consider them bad. I just consider them non-human. And for that matter, they are not, in my opinion, true AI. Okay, but that's strictly my opinion. I just refuse to use them. And no, if you're writing a book by AI, get an AI book to buy an AI company to publish it. Okay, because it's not an author that's writing it. Now, if you've got a single poem and you'd like it printed, again, same with the short stories or the novels. I just need a letter stating that it is your personal work, okay, and that you and that I have the right to reproduce it in part or in whole as is, okay. I will not be changing it, and you're still going to end up maintaining your right for publication and for promotion on your own. I don't desire to control your creative streak, but I'm not about to tell you it's not good. I may tell you I'm not going to print it, but not because it's not necessarily good enough. You know, the reality of it is, from my standpoint, everybody has a creative streak. Okay, that's just the reality behind it. And what do we got here? If we refresh that. That is absolutely amazing to me. Let's go back over here and see what I got. You know, it's funny. I don't know much about the way that the marketing works. What I do know is now that I've got the entirety of my office area completely reorganized and clutter-free. Okay, well, no, not completely. You can't see it, but my filing cabinet is right here. Okay, it's got to be gone through. But I am starting to get rid of the excess paperwork that I don't require. What's that? This is 25, so this stuff, I just have to keep hold of some of it. I wonder if I've got that under Printmaster. OR, so it goes there. Whoop, what if I put that in a CS? Put that on the CS Printmaster. That way I can start getting these pages off the deck. What do we got here? See, I'm looking at this going, there's got to be a way to bring your guys' creative life, your guys' creative works out to the public. Okay, and I am going to sit down. I've got to do it in very short order here so that I can start going, okay, if you've got work to do, I will absolutely do it. But here's the kicker. I'm going to have a number of different things I'll be looking at. Okay, one of which is going to be, obviously, if you've done all the work, all it's going to be is, okay, I'm going to get what it costs out of getting it printed. Okay, plus a little bit of a percentage, and I'll figure that out. That will all be put in print so that you'll know exactly what I'm getting. Okay, from there on, okay, there's a number of options. Like, for instance, if I tell you to print 25 copies cost me $400, I'm either going to take it out of the books I'm selling, and I'll keep enough in stock that I can do so, or you can pay me outright, you know, for the print cost of the print. I don't know all the details yet. I got to work them out. Okay, what I do know is there's a lot of change taking place. Oh, look at that. I can close that. That still leaves that open. Okay, now go back to that. This one. This. I've got that all sorted out. I do have to go through. There we go. And I got to deal with that. Oh, got to deal with that as soon as I can. I've still got a lot of work on set to go with. What have we got here? Like I said, this idea of having a list together, okay, having a list of the different goals you've got, breaking it down into smaller parts will make it so much easier to become successful. Now, right now, I'm going through this stuff and making sure that I get rid of the stuff that I don't require. Oh, like that. We will take a look at those, make sure we got them done. Because these particular ones, that can be gone through. Those are just articles I wrote. I'll double check, make sure I've got the soft copy of them. So those two files get done and worked on tonight. What's this one? I got a bunch of file folders here that are going to be removed. That can go in here. Those I'll deal with when I get done this stream. That's the thing I'm going to be working on. And where are we? Eyeballs. The nice part about it is I've got now. Let me see here. Okay, think what I've got to start doing. Now, it was funny. It was suggested by somebody, I have no idea who. Okay. Somebody in this stream, not tonight, suggested I start looking and explaining what the books are individually. Okay. So when we take a look at this particular book, okay, Believe in Yourself and Follow Your Dreams. This is literally the backbone of how I took my life and turned it around from being absolutely unfocused to understanding the impact of energy blockages in your house, in your office. This is why I've just spent this particular stream clearing the clutter off of that one shelf. That's my inventory shelf. Now all it's got on it is inventory with room for growth. Okay, that's all it's got on it. All the time, this is all workable stuff that I'm actually functioning with. Okay, and of course my paintwork is right here. But Believe in Yourself what I've done with it is gone, okay, how do we make it work? Now, there's a lot of self-help books out there. Okay, a lot of really well-written ones. I have a tendency of keeping things slow and keeping things simple. Now, here's the thing. Okay, there's a lot of good books out there, absolutely. Okay, I am not the best of the best. I'm certain of it. Nobody usually, there's always somebody better, always somebody worse. The one thing I will tell you is the tools I put in this book are literally the ones that I used to turn my life around and the ones I am still using. Okay, I've had it put to me that the tools in here aren't necessarily new, but they're put together in such a way that they make the rest of the books make sense. Now, I was always told, write something you know about. Okay, well, I know science fantasy. Okay, I know science fiction. I've been playing role playing games, starting with Dungeons and Dragons, since I was 13. Okay, now I only just turned 13 when I was introduced to Dungeons and Dragons. Net result, I've spent the last almost 58 years. June, it will be 50, almost 48. 13, I'll be 61, 51, yeah. In June, it'll be 48 years playing Dungeons and Dragons and the like. To this day, I still average 2 days a week, okay, plus my writings. And now what I've got going on is a number of extra things. Honestly, welcome. And first of all, for those of you that aren't reading chat, Joe is asking, other than me, does anyone else live near a cemetery? Okay, I can tell you wholeheartedly there, Joe, I don't. Okay, I used to hang around in them when I was there, when I was closer to them. Okay, now, welcome suggesting. I think we're approaching a time where AI will be indistinguishable from human creativity. Well, let me point something out. Human creativity has no functional limit. AI is a program. The moment it becomes truly aware, you guys are hooked. Okay, and I say you guys because I fry the things, everything. I get frustrated by them. Okay, but I couldn't tell you if AI is writing it. I can tell you I absolutely will not support the idea myself of utilizing AI programs if I know they're AI, unless we're talking about things like, for instance, a translator. Okay, a translator, I don't care if you call it AI. I do not speak multiple different Terran languages. I really don't. And because of that, I will use what I have to. But where it comes to writing, put the effort in. Okay. And the thing I can tell you is the more sentences you write, that you include in a description, the better you'll hold your audience. Okay. Now, I made the mistake of dropping the ball completely. One little clue I can give you for writing is when you get a storyline in mind, write the thing front to back. Don't stop. Write it. You can go back and fill it in afterwards. Okay. Absolutely you can. But get the storyline down, because I made a mistake in the last 2 years. I've sat stagnant on book 3. Now I know, because I'm having trouble picking it up. I know book 3 is not going to be of the quality that I'm looking for. My bad. No apology offered, none expected to be taken. But believe in yourself and follow your dreams is literally what I have used to take a look at my life and go, what am I not content with? The things I'm pleased with, I'm leaving alone. I'm just sticking with them. Okay. But, there's lots of books out there. Spend $75, get this book on how to change your life in 6 seconds, starting a week down the road. Or 7 seconds, starting a week down the road. I'm telling you, from the time you get believe in yourself and follow your dreams, from the time you receive it, okay, from the time you open the door, open the pages, right off the bat, the cover starts working. But the first couple of pages give you the first key to turning your life around. Welcome goes, my house looks like it's been a bomb site. With my busted arm, I can't do any housework. Really, just the absolute basics. And welcome, I do feel for you. Okay, with a busted arm, and I dealt with that for a while. Well, I dealt with it for 10 days, but fact of the matter is, do what you can. Okay, start, for instance, in the kitchen. Take one counter, just one, clear it. I recommend you pick one of your sinks and get it emptied. Okay, one of the biggest challenges that I will tell you, you absolutely are encouraged to drop, is this term. I can't do any home housework, really, just the absolute basics. Drop the word can't. Okay, this is not a question of my telling you it's an excuse. It's a question of my telling yourself you can't do something is very self-deprecating. I will agree it will take longer to do it. And only having one arm, sweeping the floor is a royal pain. Oh, there we go. So Welcome has a cemetery right nearby. Most of it from the 1700s to the 1900s. World War I and infants. That is, it's always hard burying a child, especially if they're not dead first. But it's a real rough thing. And the one thing I've always held, the worst case for somebody is for a parent to bury their own kid. My parents had to do it. Okay. Fortunately, I didn't make it to the morgue. Although you tried to get, made it to the morgue, I just didn't make it to the cemetery. Yeah, what do we got here? Let us hit refresh. It's absolutely amazing what I'm looking at here. And your guys' help, I will tell you, with what I figured out on finances, especially with this newest run. Okay, what I figured out is that the money that's sitting in my Buy Me a Coffee right now helps me patch up that last few dollars to cover what I require to survive the next month. Okay, and this is why I look at it going, I'm not changing the format here. As far as, like, people said, well, why don't you charge a membership? Well, because frankly, I'm tickled that people are sitting and listening to me at all. Okay, I really am. Where am I? We are at. Oh, okay. Well, guys, I have been here for, we're coming into the last little bit here. And I've got a lot of work I'm going to continue working on. Okay. But that'll go out there. Add that to the list. Remember, the list method works like an absolute charm. Okay, as far as getting things moving in the right direction. That's terrible there, Philip. That really is. Oh, I see what you've done. Is that my thing? It is. I gotta get closer because my eyesight isn't working. You are right. But you gotta remember there, Philip, just a thought. But that picture and that icon of the octopus, you gotta remember it's gotta have the other three behind it. Oh, there we are. Joe goes, oh yeah, I got a good one the other day. Daytime parking lot, my local grocery store. With my dad, I saw a funeral hearse sitting there, parking in the way back. I just thought it was odd. I'll tell you, that brings to mind a pair of buildings I saw down in Vancouver one year. I'm driving along, and here's this big sign of a brand new butcher shop, and all it said across the window: fresh meat. Here's the kicker to it: it shared a firewall with the city morgue. Okay, now to me that was just a little twist. I'm thinking like, this is just a bad location. But I really gotta say thank you so much for sharing your time with me today. I'll be back on Friday with episode 12 of A Day in the Office. And by then, I hope to have a bunch of stuff finished here. Bear in mind, hope doesn't really work for me. Hope boils down to, I hope it happens, which means I'm going to put the effort into it. Yeah, no doubt there, Philip. Philip goes, a grocery store to die for. I remember being in a butcher shop one day. I was in the grocery store, and this woman walks up to me and she goes, hunting should be banned. People should only be able to buy meat from butcher shops and grocery stores where no animals are killed. I looked at her and I said, well, I'll give you this: they're never killed inside a grocery store. The rest of it, I'm thinking there's something missing. Okay, but one of the things I gotta tell you, okay, you desire your life to change. Now is the time to make it change. With that in mind, I'll be back on tonight at 9 p.m. Pacific. Okay, with Positive Perceptions. We'll be talking about how off-worlders would help sort out this chaos that we've got on Earth. Okay, I'll be back then. I'll be back on the next Friday here at 4:30 p.m. with A Day in the Office, episode 12. Okay, that said, until then, I definitely thank you. We will talk again, but until then, do take care of yourselves and each other, and for pity's sakes, stay positive.